All right, welcome. What I would like to do is we'd like to do some videos that cover some technique that you can actually practice at home. These are going to kind of go over the information that we've done in our technique classes that are on Thursday night, and also our Dance Master workshops that we've done each month. So things like Cuban Motion, rise and fall, footwork, spins and turns, basically all of the stuff that actually makes you a better dancer, really. So today we're going to start with Cuban Motion. Before we do, I would like to thank Mimi and crew for helping me do this. They're awesome. And you know what? Thank you guys. Thank you students out there for continuing to support us from home. Thank you very much. But yeah, we're going to start out with Cuban Motion. So before we get going with Cuban Motion, we need to understand what it is that we're trying to accomplish, what the goal is. And what we're trying to accomplish is a delayed hip action. Okay, so let me describe that in a specific way. So direct hip action and delayed hip action are kind of the two hip actions, and we want delayed, okay? And direct, let's describe what they are. So direct is if you transfer the weight and then your hip goes directly to the foot. So if she takes a side step, this is delayed, what she's doing right now. So she's stepping with a bent knee, and then she would straighten that knee, and then she would bend the other knee. That's delayed hip action. If she were to do direct hip action, she would step with a straight leg immediately, and the hip would go over the foot immediately, right? So that's a direct hip action. We don't want direct hip action, we want delayed hip action. So we're gonna go through, some rules and the process which will help you to do delayed hip action. Let's go over the rules. So first is you're going to have your feet turned out. So we both have our feet turned out, heels together, toes apart. The second rule is our knees are going to bend forward or across. So I'm going to bend my knee forward or across. I'm not going to bend my knees out. Okay, so I'm not going to have the knee follow the toe. I'm going to bend my knees forward and across. So if we just stand here with our feet together, one thing we could do as an exercise is we could just transfer or switch knees bent, right? So we have one knee bent and one knee straight, and then we could switch. And again, notice the knees coming either forward or across the other knee. And then we switch the knees forward or across. If she looks down right now, she should be able to see the toe on the outside of her knee. Okay, so if you bend your knees, you should see your toe on the outside of the knee. Okay, so that's actually an exercise that you can start with just to get yourself moving, get yourself feeling what it should feel like to do hip action, Cuban Motion, and understand how to do delayed hip action. Okay, so again, that's the second rule, which is knees forward and across. Also, another rule is no two bent knees. If you bend both of your knees, your hips go to neutral. So there is no hip action. So I don't want two bent knees as I'm doing Cuban Motion. I want to have one knee bent and one knee straight. Okay. There is a moment where there's two straight legs. That's okay, but it's in transition. And then we go to the other knee bent and the other knee straight. Okay. We also want to make sure our toes stay in contact with the floor. So as we move, we're moving with our toes staying in contact with the floor. So if we were to do a side step, we would bend the knee, then we would keep our toes in contact with the floor, and then we would step. All right, and then the last rule is transfer your weight into a bent knee. So this is the hardest one, I think. You've bent your knee, you're getting ready to go, and what most people do is as they transfer their weight, they straighten their leg immediately. That's just a common thing to do. And what does that do? That makes your hip settle immediately, which gives us, again, direct hip action, which is what we don't want. We want delayed hip action. So we have to transfer our weight into a bent knee and then straighten it, and that'll do the delayed hip action the way we want it. Okay? Very nice. All right, so let's go ahead and go into basically how we move and produce delayed hip action. So let's go through the stages of every step that we take. The first one is bending the knee. So we bend the knee. That makes it so that number one, our hip settles. And 2, we're now ready to use that foot, okay? Second is to transfer the weight. So no matter where we're gonna go, we're gonna transfer our weight into a bent knee. So for instance, if we go to the side, we transfer our weight into a bent knee, okay? The third one is to straighten. So we're gonna straighten that leg that we stepped on, and then we'll bend our knee again to get ready to go, all right? So basically the stages are bend, transfer, straighten, bend, transfer, straighten, over and over again. So we'll do a box for you. So we are gonna start by doing forward with the left foot, if that's okay. All right, so we're gonna go bend with the left. Actually, you know what we should do? Let's face each other. We're gonna face each other. So we're gonna do this together. So I'm gonna be doing the leader's part. She's gonna do the follower's part. So she's gonna start with the right leg. I'm gonna start with the left. So we're gonna go bend. And notice that we're mirroring each other here. Now we're gonna go step, and then we straighten. Bend, step, 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 and straighten. And then bend if we were going on. So very nice, awesome. But yes, those are the stages that every step has to go through in order to produce delayed hip action. So you can practice the box, you can practice moving from foot to foot. If you feel like you're more advanced, try to apply it to things like the crossover break or other moves. So anyway, thank you very much. We'll be coming to you with other videos on other technique. This was Cuban Motion and delayed hip action.